Okay, this is a continuation, part two of the complaint of the Washington State Patrol. We called, actually, my girlfriend at the time, which was the trooper's ex-wife, called his boss to make a complaint about trespassing on private property and harassing us. Instead, we found out that he had written a false police report saying that he was looking for a stolen vehicle on our road, and he works state roads, not county roads, and we live on a county road. So we knew that was kind of bogus. Within the next couple of weeks, I received a phone call from Shannon saying that he had called and threatened to kill himself if she didn't stop seeing me. And at that point, we kind of just put the brakes on and kind of stopped seeing each other at that point. I believe his boss was notified of this incident, and still nothing was done. A little bit later, he was transferred out of the area for unknown reasons. I don't know why, but I know the harassment stopped at that point, and that was what I was concerned about. The thing that worried me the most was the fact that he had written a false police report to back up his lie, and that disturbed me a lot. That really made me start to worry. And then he did tell his ex-wife. I received a phone call from her saying that he was out to get me, and she said, something to the effect that I don't know how you're going to get him. He doesn't drink. He doesn't use drugs. He's clean. And she said that he was out to get me. So that was made me real nervous of going down the road, knowing that the state trooper was pretty much out to get me. And those words were kept out of court. That whole incident was kept out of court, which would really help our case. Now, continuing on with the last stop, in which he arrested me and arrested my wife, he lied and said that my wife and I got out of the vehicle, which we did not. We stayed in the vehicle the whole time, and the only way he was going to actually get us was he was going to have to make something up, and that's exactly what he did. He made up a lie and said that we got out of the vehicle and didn't do what he said to do, and then he arrested me, and he threatened to tase me if I didn't get out of the vehicle.
Was this arrest for the obstruction?
Obstruction, yeah.
Okay.
And so he basically just made it up.
He tased you or threatened to tase you?
He threatened to tase me, and so.
What was his attitude, his temper, or demeanor at that time?
I'm God, and you're nothing.
Was he very just condescending and arrogant, or
very?
Was he screaming and shouting?
He was angry towards me, and I knew he didn't like me anyways, but he definitely knew who I was. He'd been to my house. He trespassed on my property. He'd harassed me several times. So it was pretty disturbing to me that the police the state trooper, Washington State Patrol would let this officer continue to run around when they know the past history.
Now, what was it he said was particularly alarming towards the end of the stop?
He threw me and my wife in the back of the vehicle and left my kids in the car for 45 minutes in the vehicle.
How do you know it was 45 minutes? Because
I had made a phone call before I'd made a phone call during the stop, and right after that he arrested us. He gave me the ticket and then told me to get out of the car. You're under arrest for obstruction of justice. And then he arrested my wife. My wife didn't know what was going on. She was didn't know who this person was. Why is this guy yelling at us? So yeah, he was pretty unprofessional, and he was yelling at us, telling me that I was doing 80 miles an hour in a 55, which my car wouldn't even do 85.
Okay, but to go back to the 45 minutes, how do you know there was a 45-minute duration?
Because after I got out, I made a phone call. Mm-hmm. After he let us out of the vehicle, mm-hmm. and I had it on phone records. It was around 40, 45 minutes.
So you were able to You utilize the telephone records
Yes.
to get the duration. Okay. Now, was there something said, particularly towards the end of the traffic stop, that was very unprofessional or at least alarming to you? Was there a challenge that he offered you verbally?
Trying to think. There's so much that happened. My kids, I was more important. I was trying to get back to my kids. That was the biggest thing on my mind because the car was running for 40 minutes with my 2 and 3-year-old in the vehicle. And I was very concerned about
that. Did he, in particular, towards the end of the stop, or maybe it was another incident, I don't know, where he made an implied invitation to a fight?
He did. He said, well, it was during the stop, before he arrested us, he said, please threaten me, like he was inviting. He was trying to get something going on, and I was looking at him like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what he's talking about. And then he's like, get out of the car, you're under arrest for obstruction, and I'm going to tase you. And so I got out of the car, and he made all this stuff up, so I didn't even know what was going on.